Everybody, so today I want to do a video, more of like a talking vlog type video, and I did Blog TV like last week I think, and a lot of people were asking questions about high school because I just graduated and like advice for high school and tips and everything like that. So I tweeted out saying, what are your questions about high school if you have any, because I'm going to do an advice video. So I got a lot of tweets and everything, and I'm just going to go through and basically give my main high school advice, even if you're already a junior or going to be a senior or you're just going to be a freshman. I just think it's never too late to get some advice for high school, believe it or not. And I'm just going to go through some questions. So one question was, well, a few questions were about playing sports, getting involved, and balancing your time. And I do think it's important to get involved in high school. My main thing was finding what I liked getting involved in, and I just think that you should really find what you like, not do something that you think you have to be doing, because like that's the cool thing at your school. What I did all my 4 years was I was on cheerleading, and I was really good at it. I really liked it for the most part, but it just wasn't really for me, I guess. I quit my junior year, and then I rejoined for my senior year, and ended up not doing it halfway through for competition season my senior year, and it was just something that I always battled with because I felt like I had to be a certain person and have a certain image and everything like that. So I just think that I did it for all the wrong reasons, and I ended up like meeting my best friends that way and everything, and I was so involved, and I really did like it for the most part. But when it got to a time about figuring myself out and creating myself as a person, it just wasn't something I wanted to be a part of. And so I think when it comes to getting involved in high school, you want to get involved in something that makes you happy and that you're going to feel good about, and not just doing something that you're actually miserable doing and you're just doing it to fit in. It's so cliche and sounds like the most typical advice you'd get for your mom, but it's so true. Like, you literally just need to be yourself and do what makes you happy, because ultimately that's what you're going to remember is being happy, not the pictures you see on Facebook when you look like you're happy, but you remember that time and you're like, I am smiling in that picture, but I actually was really miserable at that day or whatever. So that's my advice for sports and stuff. And balancing time, usually if you do something involved in your school, they know you have homework and they schedule things around, but stuff gets really, really time committing. And I remember with cheerleading, I was always at a football game, at a practice. Over the summer, we had like 6-hour practices. It's ridiculous. You just really have to be committed and manage your time to your schedule and not overload it, because some people do. I had friends that were like in a million clubs and like everything, and did literally everything you could possibly do at our school, and it just got so stressful for them. But for some people it's worth it, and for some people it's not. You just have to figure out what suits you the best. A lot of people were saying stuff like, did you get made fun of for your YouTube channel, everything like that. And then a lot of people were saying, did you get, then a lot of people were saying if I got made fun of for my YouTube channel or stuff in that, like the blog and everything. And for a while, I started my junior year, so I did get made fun of a lot at school by the older kids and even my own friends and kids in my grade. It was really hard for me. I didn't really let it affect me at all though. I kept doing it. I just took all the jokes. It was nothing like actually really mean, like I was like crying or anything. It was just like kind of annoying, like being teased and just people making jokes all the time, and it almost just made me uncomfortable, and I just didn't like it. But people stopped really picking on me a lot after a few months. My senior year was a lot better than my junior year when I first started it, and I just think that I was going through high school trying to be this perfect cheerleader person, and I finally was just like, I'm done with this, and I quit, and I just started a blog because my mom thought I'd be good at it, and it ended up being the best decision I ever made, and I like myself more who I'm becoming now than I did my freshman and sophomore and junior year. And so I think that if you really are into YouTube and you want to start, but you're so worried about what other people think, that's the last thing that should be on your mind, because obviously it might hurt you, it might affect you, but the bigger picture is doing what you want and doing what makes you happy. So I just think that I just didn't let it affect me, and I just kind of brushed it off. And then once people started seeing how many followers I had and how many views I was getting, they actually started respecting it more, which is sad, but it kind of just made them realize like, wow, you're actually doing something really good. People are also asking which year of high school is the most stressful. I personally think all of them are very stressful, but a lot of people think that like the sophomore, junior year is the worst, because that's when you really have to start like getting into it and like figuring out where you want to go to college, and how like if your grades were low freshman year, you really need to pull them up, or you got to like keep going, and it's just really stressful. And when you're a freshman and sophomore, college seems so far away, and it doesn't seem like your grades matter, and they really do. It all adds up. If you're a freshman, my biggest advice to you is to just try from freshman year. Don't just let it slide. Like, it's not cool when you get bad grades. I didn't do really well my freshman and sophomore year. I just didn't care. I was lazy, and then it all caught up with me, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is so stupid. And I started trying and getting good grades, and it just feels so much better, even though it's hard to study and like not go out sometimes, but it just feels so much better when you are a senior like me and you're finally getting good grades, you get into college, and it's such a good feeling. So I just suggest that you just try your hardest from the beginning, because you're going to build better habits that way, and you're not going to start slacking off, and you're just going to make it strong through the 4 years. It's just, most of high school is freshman year and figuring out who you are, and the hardest part is all these other people are trying to tell you who you are, telling you to join clubs, telling you to do this, to do that, to not try in school, to try in school, and it's just so hard to figure out who you are with everyone breathing down your neck. But literally the most important thing is how you feel, and if you're happy and if you're not happy, you just have to do what makes you happy, not what makes the other person who wants you to be in their friend group happy or their club happy. It's literally, you have to be selfish for like 5 seconds and just figure out who you want to be. And it's really hard at first, and it's going to be like, you're going to make mistakes and everything. And I made so many mistakes in high school. I'm nowhere near perfect, but I think that by the end of the 4 years, I learned so much about myself that I'm so ready to start a new chapter and just like be the person that I finally think I like as myself. And my biggest advice is just find yourself. My biggest advice is just don't try and find yourself, just straight up create yourself. It's that best quote ever. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And it's so, so true. You can be anyone you want to be. There was no club at my school called Become a Beauty Vlogger. I just created it and just did it and just did my own thing, and I was so much happier. Sounds so bad, but like when you're a freshman, if someone was telling me this when I was a freshman, I probably wouldn't have listened. And that's the thing, it's that now that I've been through it, I don't wish I could go back and change anything. I really don't, mostly because I wouldn't want to go through high school for 4 years again, but I just wish that I would have listened to people who were more knowledgeable instead of just trying to become people that I thought I looked up to or like thought I needed to be like and everything. And so my advice for you is to listen to my advice and actually try and do your own thing and be your own person in high school and just have fun. If you're not in like the cool popular group, but you have an amazing group of friends that you have the time of your life with, why would you be worried about the popular group and what they're doing? It's all about being happy with yourself and just being happy in the shoes you're in, not trying to be in someone else's shoes. That's what I think. So that is my high school advice. It's kind of choppy, or I don't know. I just hope that it helped a little bit. If you have any other questions about high school or YouTube or any advice, leave them in the comments below, and I'll probably do a part 2 video just because I only asked on Twitter, so I didn't get really to answer a lot of your questions. So leave your questions in the down bar, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.